The main one that I look for, right, outside of like compatibility and shit, was I needed to see how she managed stress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said that. I've heard that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like my number one thing. And I meant that shit. I seen so many people who
just lose their shit.
Just thin skin, bro.
Yeah. I was watching another podcast. My bad, real quick. It was I don't know if they were joking or not, bro. I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you. But they were literally saying like, I don't take showers every day. Like,
oh, was it with Simone? B Simone?
No. That bitch, that's a weird bitch right there. Anyways, but no, these are white folks. They said wash rags are for poor people.
Oh yeah.
You seen it?
That clip is old though. You just watched it?
I just seen that like a week or two.
I'm not gonna lie though, wash rags are for poor people. I use the whole thing now.
My nigga, please say you was recording. I'll be real with you. Please tell me you was recording, bro.
That shit is absolutely being recorded.
Yes!
That shit is
because y'all won't believe me. Y'all don't believe me if I tell you this shit.
Yo, come get your king, dog.
This nigga is wild. No, look, respect.
Damn, you hating on wash rags?
No.
I
hit you with respect.
Nigga, I think even when I become rich, I still might use a wash rag.
Nah, I don't use a wash rag. I use it's like this long, exfoliating, like, it's like rag.
I mean, that might be better, but damn, wash rags are for poor people? That's wild.
First off,
nigga, I'm a tall nigga. I'm a tall person.
The shit
that he uses, I got him at. Nigga, no. But wash rags is not for
First
poor
off,
people.
I was using that before you got me that. I just probably did not have one at the time. But that is definitely my preference.
What were you using at the time?
I probably had a couple.
You were probably using a wash rag.
Nah, I had a couple. I had a couple of those things, even before you.
Nigga, that's wild. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Don't get me wrong. I will use a wash rag from time to time.
You just said wash rag.
But
I'm
okay, cool. And a lot of things are for poor people, like ramen. I still sometimes eat ramen.
I don't know the last time I seen you eat ramen, bro.
I'm gonna keep it a buck though.
That's sad because you definitely have seen me eat ramen.
No. You eat like $50 ramen. Like you don't eat.
Ooh.
Like
first off, bro, stop.
Goddamn, y'all these niggas got money. These niggas got money, dog.
He don't eat regular ramen.
$50 ramen.
I be getting like Lunchables and shit.
No, you don't.
I do.
You eat Lunchables that other people buy. You don't buy them.
I just bought a Lunchable when I went to Dallas the other week.
I had some Manchurian the other day. That shit was amazing, nigga.
I
went through like a brief period where I didn't fuck with noodles at all, and then like one day I ate a bag and I was like, "Yo, this shit is exquisite."
Yeah, you gotta kind of like break it, like chill.
Nigga, this shit is
but
amazing.
You know what? They
nigga.
do have adult Lunchables now with this whole like meat, cheese, and cracker shit that they be doing.
Adult Lunchables?
It's what do they call it?
It's like a charcuterie board kind of thing.
Oh, okay. It sounds expensive though. I'm good.
But regular Lunchable is cool. But I'm respectfully, and also wash rags are very small ass, like square. I'm a tall person, so just trying to like navigate that shit and
I mean, here's my thing though, yo. Just hear me out here. That sounded like a really Republican thing to say.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Deny it if you want to.
I love it.
He knows it's true. All right, y'all. Well, with that being said, though, welcome back to another episode of The Great Deliberators. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Imperator Rose.
It's your boy DK.
It's your boy Obing. Do your thing, make your name right.
Okay, we've heard that one before.
That's a run back, right? That's
a run back. I might keep that one. I don't
spin
know.
the block?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's one of your better ones.
Yeah.
It's one of your better. Beat me up, Scotty. It threw me off, but I can rock with that one.
Don't worry about it. I'll bring that one back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can rock that one too.
I thought we were gonna do like a pre-show like apology to Lizzo. Like we never done that.
We not gonna do that. I don't know. He on demon time today. He might want to say that shit for like another episode.
My apologies, Lizzo.
Oh, that's it. That's all we got for it.
That's all we got today.
Okay.
I think he truly means it though.
I do. At this point, I'm just like, I'm over apologizing, but I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Nigga said I'm tired of apologizing.
What's the over apologize?
He got to apologize till we become famous, and then you got to be on your fuck y'all niggas. I ain't apologizing no more type shit.
Yeah.
Ready? Okay. All right. Cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into this thing piece. So, question is what are the top three things, right? Top three things that
top
you look
three
for.
things.
Top three things you look for
in a significant other. Facts. Who's going first? I knew. What's up? We got a show going on.
Sorry.
I mean, dead ass though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I really don't have three. I only really got one.
No, nigga, you need three.
I gotta give three.
Three is difficult though, but go ahead.
Three is difficult, right? Because I mean, I can't see me giving three to y'all niggas Our shit might match up, right? So here we go. The main one that I look for, right, outside of like compatibility and shit, was I needed to see how she managed stress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said that. I've heard that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was like my number one thing. And I meant that shit. I seen so many people who
just lose their shit.
Just thin skin, bro.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, like, yo, and I'm not super, hey, nigga, we gonna get this shit done by any means necessary. Put your britches up. Don't make excuses. I mean, I am big on not making excuses. But I'm saying, my thing is like, yo, when you're back against the wall, you ain't got no choice but to like get up and move, my nigga.
You're real, like even killed. You don't really change trajectories too much.
I'm saying, like, I don't need anybody who's just gonna wallow in the corner all day and just cry and pout about their situation. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta keep the same speed.
Like, my nigga, like, we gotta figure this shit out. Like, we gotta get this shit done. And the one thing that I absolutely wanted is, and this gonna sound bad, but I didn't want an anchor. Like, I just didn't want somebody who was like just gonna be hugging onto my leg and hoping for me to carry them through this shit. Like, obviously, like, I'm a self-sufficient person. I'm pretty good at problem solving, but like two heads is better than one. You know what I'm saying? So like my biggest thing was always like, how does this person like manage and handle stress? Because like I'm a consoling person, but I really ain't the type of person to bring problems to, because like I'm gonna tell you to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go. We got a day, we got a week to really mourn this thing. But then after that, like, it's go time. Like, we got to figure it out. Like, it ain't no constantly worrying about it and being pessimistic about the situation. And so like that was like my biggest thing. Outside of that, I would say my next two things really is just, I wanted somebody who I was truly compatible with. So if you want to say I need somebody who was into, you didn't necessarily have to be hardcore into the things that I was, which I got lucky because my wife is amazing and she's into everything that I'm into. But no, I didn't want somebody who liked the shit that I like, right? Because if you rocking with somebody, and I've seen this in a lot of couples, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like they don't really know each other. You know what I'm saying? And then you got one person in the bedroom watching something. You got another person in the living room watching something. It's like, nah, bro. Like, we in this house living together. I can see maybe like a show or two, but y'all got multiple weeknights where like y'all in separate rooms watching TV and shit. Nah, that shit ain't gonna fly. And at least if we're not entirely into the same shit, like you into some shit that like I can get into, and then I'm into some shit that like you can get into, right? And we can blend this thing together, right? So I wanted someone who I could spend time with doing things that I enjoyed and things that I could enjoy with that person as well. And lastly, you want to say top three things, man? I don't know. I can't think of nothing else really outside of it. That ain't like a basic answer.
A basic answer sometimes is,
it's cool.
I still can't get you one, dog. Because I ain't really look for three things, though.
Okay.
A nice person.
I would definitely say a confident woman. I'm trying not to saturate, overuse his answers. Somebody who is definitely solution-based thinking. Mm-hmm. If there's a problem, just, let's get to a solution.
Yeah.
And really a hustler. I need somebody who has like a hustler mentality. Like, it's not cool to just do like a regular 9 to 5 and let that be it. Like,
don't shit on the 9 to 5s though. But
no, respectfully. But it's not for, again, you're asking my preference. Yeah. That is. This
is what you want. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Somebody who is like a go-getter ultimately. But yeah.
For me, I think firstly, I need somebody who puts logic over emotion. I know the women are emotional creatures, and you can't really escape that. But I definitely need.
That's gonna get them canceled. But okay,
I definitely need one. No, I mean that's the reality though.
Okay, all right.
Women tend to be emotional creatures, though.
Damn. All right, y'all. It's been real. Okay, go ahead.
I take it. I don't mean nothing bad by it.
No, I got you.
But yeah, I definitely need one that does her best to put logic over emotion when making decisions. That's a big deal for me. Which I think that kind of falls into the same deal when you're talking about like how you handle stress and shit instead of just like having an emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
I think the next thing would be to I need her to have like some kind of fire. Like, I just don't want somebody that's just there. Like, something that she's grabbing onto, focusing and putting energy to, and like working towards to, whether it's, some type of ambitious dream or something or whatever. And I guess that's the third thing is just like family oriented, man. Just, you know, we ain't got to be out every goddamn night doing dumb shit. You know?
Yeah.
And I will say this. He's probably going to laugh. A woman of God, first and foremost.
You would laugh.
I didn't laugh.
I feel like
I feel like
you want to say something. I feel like because I'm not really like the most super religious person, but what I can tell you right now, like I want that in.
That seems odd, but okay, yeah.
I want that in. Like,
That part seems odd though for you not to be a religious person. But
I'm not saying I'm not a religious person. I'm just saying I'm not like, you know, over the top where I read my Bible every day.
I got you.
Like,
okay.
I'm going to church every Sunday and this, that, and the third. I'm probably amongst me and my siblings, outside of maybe my sister, probably practice the most like growing up. But I definitely want that like
Okay.
in my spouse. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like he holding back a couple comments, but that's
Listen, if that's what you want, man. I do want to ask one question. Though.
Okay.
Come on, go ahead.
Have you been to church one time this year?
For me?
Yeah.
It's 2023. It's early, bro.
I'm just saying.
It's not even April yet.
Have you been to church? Has there ever been a
I
Sunday?
have been to a church, but I have not like witnessed a sermon.
Jesus said that upon this rock I shall build my church. He wasn't talking about a building.
Okay, well, have you experienced a sermon?
I literally just said that I've been to a church, but I have not listened or witnessed a sermon.
All right. Okay.
You told me to double back for the people in the back who didn't hear me.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Again, though, I don't want to knock it because, like, if that's what you want, that's a good thing to, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Strive for. So.
Yeah. And to
Kudos.
just to touch base on something before we get off it, because we all kind of touched on the same thing. But my thing isn't, it wasn't even so much that I want someone who decided to put emotion over logic. I'm okay with your emotions being the thing that dictates your flow of however you do what you do. What I'm saying is that there comes a time where we got to move past that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like you can have a high point in a day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But tomorrow I need you back down here. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't stay here for a week or two or a month behind situations. Like I need you to come down.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people, and the reason why I say that is because I've seen so many people damage relationships in their life because like they hear all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? And like that's men and women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
like you know what I'm saying? You running 100 miles an hour in a situation where it only requires you to be doing 40, bro. You about to get a ticket. They're gonna take your license, man. Like,
Some niggas be
you need to
extra
chill
as
out.
hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I didn't want, right? So like if you're trying to hit the speed, you trying to put the pedal to the metal like every now and then, all right, because that's how humans work. But we ain't supposed to be doing this every, bro. That shit ain't flying, bro. Like I'm just not built for it. Like I tap out, like because at some point I just don't care anymore. Because like this how you gonna react every time something bad happens? Like no, bro, I can't rock with you. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say handle stress, right? Like it ain't so much in how you handle it, but I guess I would say like how long you dwell in the stressful moment. And so that's more
I
my
will
thing.
be honest with you because that I can 100% agree with.
Yeah.
When something happens to me, like, you know, stressful, like I can be in that like cloud maybe like in a night or over like that morning, but it will not last for more than like 2 days. Like I gotta kick back. I gotta get back to like, you know what I'm saying? Get back to the focus and do what I gotta do. So I agree with you.
I'm saying it's unhealthy. You can go down the fucking list of reasons as to why you shouldn't do that shit.
But it goes back to solution based like thinking. Like, all right, we have a problem. Like let's figure it out. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, that's so yeah, because I didn't want to lean on it as like I ain't want like someone who to not display emotions. Like of course that's human nature. Yeah. But let's think about this here. All right, bet. All right, so it's time to get into the nitty gritty, baby. Depending on how this goes, y'all, we may or may not have another episode.
This might be the last one.
But with that being said, though, we're going to go ahead and run this clip, and we're going to come back, and we're going to discuss. Here we go.
Yikes.
So we know how people in power and conservatives use culture wars in order to distract and diffuse us from challenging institutions of power, right? And I want to talk about how the attacks on trans and LGBT people factor into this. The first time I was ever hit on by a grown man, I was about 13 or 14 years old. I still had braces in my teeth. And if you ask a lot of women about the first time that they had encountered something like that, they will often say 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. When I was in my early 20s and I worked as a waitress on an outdoor cafe, there was a man that would park on the side of the street, and we realized that he was pleasuring himself to the waitresses that were going back and forth on the sidewalk. I can't tell you how many stories I and almost every woman I know have about things like this. And when you actually look at who's committing this abuse, it's majority straight men. Many of these disgusting and insinuating attacks on trans and LGBT people are actually projections of what predatory, cisgender, and often straight men do when left alone in the presence of women, or sometimes horribly children. So instead of getting you to challenge the patriarchy, they're trying to get you to challenge the very gender expressiveness that challenges patriarchy. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of people attacking drag are projecting.
Okay. All right.
And just like that, the Republicans got another vote.
Okay. So he's saying the Democrats just lost his vote. He's voting Republican because of this one video. Vince, what say you? How did this video trigger you?
I wouldn't say it was triggering, but LC is tripping, bro. Like,
oh, we reaching? Okay.
yeah, she's definitely reaching. And you know, that's her thing though. Like, that's her thing. Like, she's like,
Let's explain the perspective here.
she's like, at times she can like be our like Tommy Lauren. She can be our
I can see that.
What is her name? Ann Coulter. She can be our Tucker Carlson. Like, that's just,
She's the left.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
But,
Like,
but hold on here. All right. But what part specifically was she reaching at though?
she was reaching at okay, so to like demonize cisgender straight men is wild.
It is wild.
That's crazy.
And you know what's crazy?
That's
is
a
that
reach right there though, because I don't think she technically did that. She just said that most rape or victims happen from
Cisgender straight men.
Cisgender straight men.
Yeah, so it's like, so I'm saying, like, if you watch the video, and I can't be the only person who watches the video and the takeaway is like, oh, fuck cisgender straight men. You're like, no.
Not even just that.
I don't think it was that. I just think it was in contradiction to the attack on transgender people right
When you
now.
hear the end of what she said, like,
Well, okay, let me say this. You can't, two wrongs don't make a right.
Okay.
Right? So if it is a counterattack to the attacks on transgender, I feel like you lose your message, because I definitely watched the message and I'm not really even worrying about like the drag shit. I'm not worrying about the transgender shit. I'm just worrying about, I'm a cisgender straight man, and it's like now the way you like, if this video picks up and other people start agreeing with you or whatever, it's like all of a sudden I become the bad guy, and I haven't done shit.
Okay. I still think that's a reach, but you were making a point.
if you listen to what she said at the end of it, like, it's, you know, cisgender men like projecting whatever against transgenders. It's even tough because now that if you say something that is like against what she just said, you immediately are getting put into this category of like projection. I think she's reaching.
Okay, but to touch on that point just before you go, I don't think she's necessarily making that point. I think that she is, the whole purpose of this video is because of they've been pushing law after law in Florida, Tennessee, all these places to, you know what I'm saying, essentially attack transgender people and drag shows or whatever. Like that's like the hot topic, you know what I'm saying? First it's woke, now they done moved on to transgender and drag shows. So she's saying like they're doing all of this, but like at no point are they paying attention to the fact that 98% of rape cases happen from cisgender straight men. You know what I'm saying? So who are y'all really protecting? Because that's the question at the end of the day. That's the whole point behind the gun debate, right? Like y'all's like, and
man, this whole thing is like,
okay.
I'm saying where she lost me at is the same reason.
I do get what you're saying. I think maybe it's just like how the message is being like said. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, okay, how we are receiving it. But and I'm definitely joking about the Republican thing because I really don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. One lacks common sense, one lacks empathy. I don't know who to choose.
Really, but I don't know, man. AOC right now, she's definitely like the cheerleader for the left, and she is like falling into that. I remember when she first came like into the the political realm. It it wasn't this much entrenched in like issues like that. It was
No
more,
way. She absolutely was like leaning far from the second like she realized like her pull. She was leaning
when
as
she,
far as she
but I
could.
remember when she first came in, it was big on like immigration. She was big.
That was
on,
like her big thing. Yeah.
that was her thing. Now that she's in power and she's like gotten the traction that she's gotten to, she will pick up as whatever like left movement that we have. She wants to be, you know what I'm saying, the poster girl for that situation.
But the thing is with AOC is no one knew like what her her agenda really was. She's super fucking liberal.
Okay.
She's as liberal as you gonna get, dog. Like,
I mean, that's possible. I just always feel like all these people are pandering. I don't think Ron
They do what
DeSantis
they
cares.
can do. They do what they can do so they can get reelected.
Yeah, I don't-
So it's not, even if they, their views may change over time, but they're not going to like articulate that because
listen, at the end of the day, all I have to go off of is what you give me.
No, I feel you.
So if you ask, like, AOC definitely seems like somebody that would be okay with socialism, like 100% cool with
most
I think given
far
this,
left individuals do agree with socialism.
I think given the reason why socialism is even like a topic is because people are poor. If people weren't poor,
Socialism sounds
would be a
good.
thing.
It, like,
You know
it
what I'm
sounds
saying?
good on paper.
Have y'all seen the Tucker Carlson clip where he was talking to what's the dude that nobody likes, not even Republicans, Ben Shapiro?
Okay.
Ben
Yeah,
Shapiro.
did y'all see that conversation that he had?
Listen, you know, let me
Ben
tell you
Shapiro?
something about Ben Shapiro, though. That, okay, nobody likes him. It's kind of a testament to, like, he might be right a couple times.
Nah, bro, he was voted most likely. He was voted the most hated person in his graduating class.
definitely get
Nigga, the
that.
whole school hated him.
I get
That means that anyone who's a Republican, a Democrat, an Independent, a Green Party, Pink Party, whatever, it doesn't like Ben Shapiro.
I've listened to Ben Shapiro, and there have been times it's like he does kind of have a point.
I mean, that's anybody though.
Okay.
I mean, like that's that you could again, like you can find a point being made from anyone.
Ben
anytime.
Shapiro is tough though. He's very tough. He can definitely.
But anyway, the point here is if y'all go back and y'all find the clip was Tucker Carlson saying like, of course I would. He was talking to Ben Shapiro. He was saying, of course, if I was a 24-year-old just graduated from college, can barely afford rent, can barely eat, can barely afford my basic necessities, of course socialism sounds great. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course it does. Like, that's the point. Like, socialism sounds great to anyone who doesn't have enough in order to survive. So this conversation about socialism would go away if niggas didn't have to feel like they were constantly fighting for resources. So just to touch on that real quick. But my point is just that where she lost me at was with the whole expressions of patriarchy and all that shit. I hate when people get into that because, again, I got on you about that shit. I hate when people try to play doctor. That shit's annoying as fuck, and it annoys the shit out of me because I'm just a very simple person, and I see shit black and white. So it is what it is. Now, are these people pandering or being malicious in intent and trying to attack people for just being who they are? Sure, right? You know what I'm saying? But again, with anything in life, a movement or a push inside of a movement comes from the oppression of the side that isn't allow that person to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? So in saying what she's saying, she's basically saying that, yo, y'all are attacking day in and day out, coming up with laws, constantly trying to feed into these mob of people who are afraid of these people being whoever they are. And y'all aren't even paying to like the real victims. You know what I'm saying? Like the reality is that if your child is going to get raped, it is more likely going to happen from a man in your family, a straight man in your family who is close to them. And that's an uncle, brother, sister, father, mother. I mean, uncle, brother, sister, brother. Well, you get my point, right? Yeah. It's somebody usually close to that. So I watch documentary shows all the time. I can't tell you how many times that like someone comes on there and starts talking about how like they uncle raped them or like they father raped them or like a close cousin or somebody raped them. Like that's the point here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where is the conversation being had about, you know what I'm saying, actually protecting kids and shit? And y'all only care about, you know what I'm saying, transgenderism. Who is like transgenders? Who are like 1% of the 1%? It just doesn't make sense. That's what I took from it.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't either one way or another how you feel about transgender, you know what I'm saying, people or drag shows or whatever. I think that it's odd that it's like a talking point because like this thing just became a big deal out of nowhere to me.
Nowhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Like it just, Shit just popped
the
out there.
transgender shit?
No, the drag shows and shit. Like out of nowhere. Like
Well,
really
it's okay. It's not really out of nowhere because you got to understand with these politicians, they have their agendas laid out like in secret rooms. And this is not like I'm not joking. I'm not being like conspiracy theorist. This is real. Like you can look it up. There are people behind the curtains. And they come up with these slogans and these sayings, and they focus on different issues, and it's to slowly start to move the needle to what you really want. So, okay, you don't want to go straight as trans, right? Yeah. So, how can we like kind of start the issue? Okay, that's where the books shit kind of started. Mm-hmm. The books, you teaching kids way too young about sex and genderism and fluidity and all that stuff. Okay, boom. So we start doing the banning of the books and shit, and now everything kind of looks like Fahrenheit. What's the name of that book? Fahrenheit 50 whatever 40.
Yeah, they made the short series. So where they banning books.
You got school libraries completely empty, right? Not because all the books are banned, right? But because the way the laws are written, you have to have a committee approve these books. So if the committee can't get to your school in whatever amount of time, you can't put any books out. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking encyclopedia. You can't put a book out for any kids to go look at. You got empty fucking shelves and shit. Then you push on to the drag shows. Oh, the drag shows out in public, people, kids can see it or da-da-da, and it's jarring or however the fuck they use it, and now they're pushing against them. Okay, so once we start doing the drag show shit, then we start to move to more of the issues that they really, really want to focus on, which is trying to like dead this whole transgender shit, which you can't. Like you can't do it. To be honest, though, it's like this, bro. And any parent should know this, though. If you focus your energy on something that your kid like wants to do, more than likely he or her is gonna want to do it even more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when you're trying to like literally like, and I don't want to call it a movement or whatever, but the layman, that's what it looks like. It looks because it's happening more than what we were used to when we were kids.
It's definitely a movement.
Yeah, you can call it a movement.
So
it's just every time I get on TikTok now, it's like practically what I fucking see.
Okay, so when you start seeing this over and over again, and then all of a sudden you're trying to shut it down, what do you think is going to happen?
That's true.
And you know what? I don't want to like disrespect it by saying that maybe because we don't see it day to day in our communities and what goes on, and I don't see it a lot. Like I don't have TikTok, so I don't really see it too much. But maybe when if in Texas, if it was really getting, or if we knew people that things were getting banned, like going to the club or whatever the case may be with drag shows, this, that, and the third. Yeah. Then we can maybe like understand like the plight that they're having, but we don't. No. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, to me, it's like a percentage of 1% of the population. Like, it's not.
I'm saying, right? Like, it's always been this it's always been this perception that children are easily influenced, which is absolutely true, right? But children are easily influenced through what their parents show them. You know what I'm saying? Like, your upbringing inside of your home has 90% to do with who you are. And the other 10% comes from whoever you are at your core being. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's no need to talk about it because people are who they are, right? And you hit it right on the head, right? Like you can try to change someone from being whoever they are, but a person's gonna be who they want to be, right? So the question comes all the time as to, and we talk about this with hip hop, movies, guns and violence, video games, right? Like we play video games all day long, violence, shooting, killing. We ain't running around here shooting and killing people, bro.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I used to argue with my partners though about this all the time, and it was he believes like, okay, you're making the children gay, like you're making them gay, or you're making them.
Oh, it's a lot of them niggas.
Or you're making them transgender, or like that's like your actions, like you're doing this on purpose, right? And my belief is, I don't think if there's 100 kids, right? Maybe you made one of them gay. To me, nobody.
I don't know if you can ever make anyone gay.
I don't think that's how it works, bro.
Without constant stimulation and it being a focal point of what you're actually trying to do.
My belief, and it's not scientific or anything. My belief is this, bro. My belief is this.
Speak your piece.
You are who the fuck you are.
I mean, that's
I
absolute
agree with.
facts. That's
You
all
are who you are.
I
dog.
agree with that, but I do think there's a caveat. I believe that I'm gonna be very careful.
I mean,
I think that I think individuals grow up and have situations that, you know what I'm saying, have happened to them, or they grew up maybe confused and things of that nature. And when you're not able to like talk those things through or resolve certain issues, when you get into your adulthood or when you get to a point, you know what I'm saying, as a teenager, where like sex and things like that, you know, are becoming such a big part of your life, it can fuck up how you think about certain situations or maybe how you act. So though I agree with you, but I don't think that is 100% how it is for everybody. I think there's a lot of people who have experiences, like AOC was talking about predators. There are a lot of women who prey on little girls. And if something were to have happened to you as a little girl by a woman, then by the time you start hitting, you know what I'm saying, puberty, you are now confused. Your experience or your first experience or your first few experiences dealt with a same-sex older individual. Yeah. So now you could be a girl who's now turning lesbian or feeling like, man, this is how it's supposed to be, or is it not? Things of that nature. So when things like that happen, are you then going to say that you are who you are? Or did something get introduced to you at a young age that now you are confused and you grew up with that confusion also with puberty mixing in like...
Well, I mean...
you know what I'm saying? Now you identify as whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully.
It does happen. Unfortunately, abuse happens far often than...
I knew that was kind of like...
Abuse happens far often than we give it credit for one. But also, to touch on something that that happens quite often, is that we tend to make comparisons often when the reality is just that the diagram is so farly leaned on one side that like whenever you try to make a comparison in something that happens this much compared to something that happens this much, it doesn't quite fit the bill.
And I swear to you, that's exactly what I was just thinking. It's like
so I'm saying like my thing here is if you are speaking about how, you know, well, women prey on women too, but you're talking potentially, because we don't know, because who even knows if they're even taking data on that shit?
And that's another thing I was gonna say about AOC's situation. I didn't like.
So I hear you.
She said that men are like, you know, the majority and this, that, and the third. Well, are you talking teenage boys who are sitting up here saying that like the women who are preying on them as we know when they were kids, but these women were adults? Is that getting calculated?
But hear me out here for a second. If you're 14 and a woman hits on you, do you feel like you were sexually abused?
Look, bro, that's
absolutely not.
No, hold on, wait, time out.
Absolutely
I
not.
get what you're saying,
but I'm saying, but a girl who is 14 and gets hit on by a 30-year-old, she's gonna feel like she's being sexually attacked.
And I'm not discrediting that. What I'm saying is that are we putting down all this data together? Is it all getting computed the same?
But I'm saying you can't. How hard is it to get that data from a young boy when he don't think he was sexually attacked?
Bro, I'm not disagreeing with you.
So I'm saying like the data is almost to a certain extent. This nigga here. I know.
No, what's up?
But no, he's talking about like he wouldn't feel sexually attacked. But it is sexual assault. No, it is though. But I'm saying, but you got niggas. It is. It absolutely is.
It is sexual assault.
It is absolutely sexual assault. If a 30-year-old woman,
I think that one's up for debate.
It's not up for debate.
Bro, like you see all these teachers. You know what I'm saying? You can get on Instagram now and you will see like almost, at least for the past couple of weeks, it's like damn near every day or at least every week, some teachers being caught up with a, you know what I'm saying, a 14-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, 6-year-old boy.
But it was happening back then. It just, you know, we knew what it was. So we got the shit.
All that is also
kids ain't with the shit today.
Sexual assault.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
I disagree. I do think a lot of these teenagers with the shit. The problem
these
is
kids
that
still
there's
do,
so much communication.
Yeah, they getting caught.
They getting caught up by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Before social media, it was easier to hide.
One of the women was stalking the kids.
Pregnant.
Huh? One of the women was like stalking the kid. Like,
yeah, that's wild.
Like, I love you.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, listen. Me 14 and you chasing me now?
Pray for me.
I'm running shit.
Yo, man, somebody pray for this nigga, man.
Dog,
God
for
damn.
real.
But the
And
point,
I'm the one who's about to get canceled.
but the point here is me. Oh no, he's definitely getting canceled for that shit. he's definitely.
Me 14 and you chasing me?
He's definitely reached your
But I do
blood
get it.
plasma.
I do get what you're saying.
So I'm saying that data is
attacking me
hard to
when-
get
when-
compared to
I'm just
men
putting
and
like,
women.
I'm just putting like this. What AOC stated when she was 13, 14, 15, that a 30-year-old man would hit on her, this, that, and the third. Disgusting. But you also got to understand that the same thing is also happening with teenage boys and with older women.
Come on, man.
And-
Listen.
and-
Dog,
and-
hold on real quick.
Just because you feel like it didn't.
No. I'm being serious. I'm being serious right now, bro.
Chill.
No, hold on.
Give me a second.
You're
man.
making light. You're making
I'm
light.
not trying to make light. I'm
of
not
something
trying
that's serious, dog. If you're talking about 1% of 1%, dog, what do you think like the numbers are when it comes to boys and the female teachers? No, like you can't compare the two, bro. Like
I'm not
completely different.
I'm not
things.
making light of the situation. What I'm saying is that a predator.
You're comparing the two, though. Like
I'm
you're doing
comparing-
exactly what
I'm
Tucker
comparing
Carlson
the
is probably
two.
doing on the show right now.
No, I'm comparing the two as they need to be compared to. They're both sexual assault. So if the data is the data being recorded for all sexual assault, or is the data only being recorded for the sexual assault that we all three are sitting here saying identifies as like the worser of the two?
Okay, so you saying all that to say what?
My point is that a predator is a predator. A predator is not just identified as a straight cis male, whatever the case may be. A predator is a predator. A predator could be a woman, it could be a man, whatever the case may be.
You know what she said? Do you know what she said? She didn't say that a predator was only straight man. She said
the majority.
most.
She said the majority.
She said most.
98%.
Okay.
She said
And
most.
why do you think that is? Is because what is being recorded, what we can numerically put on data is what we see, and that is
This is crazy.
I hear you, but whenever we lose context of the conversation,
you can call it crazy. I'm telling you, bro.
I'm saying at times we lose context of the conversation whenever we're just speaking about this, because the opposition always wants to focus on the details of it when she's just trying to say y'all ain't really after predators.
I think transgenders make overall people feel uncomfortable because just like what we said before, they are not within our day-to-day communities. We do not.
Wait, hold on. You said that they overall make people uncomfortable.
I think they make. I think they make a lot of people feel uncomfortable. It is.
That's what the opposition's issue with them is.
I'm not saying that's my belief. Bro, do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you the overall realm of people probably feel uncomfortable about certain issues like same-sex bathrooms or whatever the case may be. So what I'm saying is that because it is not something that we see in our day-to-day community, people feel like we don't want that. Keep that at bay. Keep that in the dark. Keep that in the shadows. We don't want to see that. So I'm not discrediting that there are not people who are trying to apply pressure on transgender communities and things of that nature. I just feel like that is not something that like the head of our Democratic Party is like. That is not an issue that is like really.
She's definitely not the head of the Democratic
She's one of the heads of the Democratic Party. She is like when I say the heads, like her voice holds weight comparable to the common Democrat. Would you disagree or agree?
I just said she's not the head of the Democratic Party.
I said one of. Did I not say one of, bro?
Can y'all get off semantics?
Damn, nigga. Why are you doing this?
I'm just saying she's not the head of the Democratic Party.
Listen,
bro.
here's the point though.
Okay, fine. The head of the left movement for the Democrats. It is one of those things where I feel like, man, there's a lot more things that we can be discussing.
I can agree with that for sure.
I think you should say she's just a loud voice, but I mean.
All right. I digress.
Nigga, here's the point again, dog. It's just that, again, in almost any argument, the problem is just that we get too focused on the details and understanding and trying to get away from the context of the argument. She used that data specifically just to talk about the fact that, like, yo, these people that y'all are after ain't the ones touching kids. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to show what the majority is. The majority is straight men. And so that's the issue here. So if y'all really after child predators, then y'all niggas need to be kicking in doors or creating solutions or creating networks for children to have outlets to speak about things that are going on for them at home.
And I'm agreeing with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody is disagreeing with that, though.
No. You listen. That's what you just did. You just disagreed with it.
I don't think he disagreed. I just think that he's focusing on the details of what she said versus the context of what she's trying to say. She's just using a specific data point.
But he's saying that you don't have numbers for this and that. And what she's saying is the numbers say that most of these attacks, most of these occurrences happen with straight men.
Yeah, but he wants to focus on predators in general. I'm saying it here is just that.
But listen,
you got to use
you're losing the
data.
message. You're losing the message. The message, which listen,
What?
You lose the
I don't
message.
think you're losing the message.
So you're losing the message. I'm telling you why.
Because
The message is
that
this.
he's talking about.
The message
you can apply
is
those
this.
resources for all. Like
The message is this, right? You're focusing all this energy on transgender, as if they're the ones attacking kids.
Yeah.
When in the reality, it's cisgender straight men.
Yeah.
okay.
So that's the message. When you start saying, well, let's just focus on predators, then you lose the message. She's not saying
No, okay,
transgender can't be predators.
So yeah, no, I get that. And so like, and then my thing is also, I don't feel it's always necessary to put caveats or to express, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying men are the only ones. Like, it just, you lose point of your argument whenever you have to digress out and in and out of the point you're trying to make. So for her to be saying, well, 90% men, not saying all men, but 90% are men, like, if you don't have enough intelligence to understand exactly the context of where she's trying to put it, then you likely aren't going to get it anyway. So I'm saying the point here is just whenever you're making these arguments, I get where you're coming from, but like you to drive points home, you have to a certain extent jab the people who are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's niggas who look like you touching kids. You know what I'm saying? It's niggas who think like you touching kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched the video or whatever, like what I took from it is exactly what I said when you asked me what the video was. Like, I feel like, your attack is misplaced or whatever. And I didn't really fully put it into context. Like, it didn't, like, until you articulated, like, okay, no, this is what I got from it. And I just rewinded the video in my head and then exactly what she said, and you're 100% right. That is the whole reason why I even changed my argument to the point where she's not attacking cisgender straight men.
Yeah.
She's just trying to make a point that you're focusing a lot of energy on somewhere where you should be focusing in somewhere else if that was what you really were focused on.
Well, slight caveat, she's attacking a specific group of cisgender men attacking transgender. You see what I'm saying? It is a slight jab to them because you're specifically targeting their group of people to show, hey, 98% of the people that we have on data who touch kids look like y'all. You know what I'm saying?
It is facts.
So in which case, this entire plight that y'all have against this group of people who aren't doing anything but trying to be who they are, you know what I'm saying, is unfounded and unwarranted. You know what I'm saying?
But we all do agree that, like, you know what I'm saying, everybody is just trying to everybody in the political parties, like even the Republican parties, like they might not even care about transgender issues.
Yeah.
But they just want to sit up there and like have something that they can
they definitely
give.
care.
I don't really think all of them really care about transgender issues the way that you think they do. But I think that they know that it is a hot topic. It is something that it garners a lot of attraction. It headlines, things of that nature. It pulls on emotional heartstrings. So let's talk about it. Let's attack it. Let's put it on the airwaves. Let's say something that we know is going to be trending, whatever the case may be, and they go out there and do it.
The average Republican today, dog, I would call them like a stay-at-home Karen. I'm not gonna say stay-at-home mom because there's a lot of great stay-at-home moms. I'm gonna say a stay-at-home Karen, like that just has nothing better to do than just to worry about some shit that has nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
That's what the average Republican is today, bro.
I can see that.
Like you just focused on bullshit
like that ass.
that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. That's a great point. Because when you said stay-at-home Karen, I was like, what? I don't get the reference, but okay, yeah. You
just a lot of fucking time on their hands
you
to do other
just to
shit.
fuck with people.
Yeah.
And like, just listen to conspiracy theories and shit. Okay, I got you. Okay, all right, cool. Look, man, I just wanted to touch on that because one, I just shared that shit because I knew it would get this nigga riled up. But again,
he didn't take the bait though.
But no, I'm saying, listen, my thing is, again, like why we start this pod. We start this pod to have open and honest conversations.
Talk about real shit.
About real shit, right? Like this is a real topic. So I'm saying is no topic is off limit. No topic is never something that we can't not talk about. And if we talk about it respectfully, well, then in which case the shit's all golden. But then Candace Owens said something that was extremely shocking. So let's talk about this here real quick.
Okay, but hers was after the shooting, right?
Huh?
Hers was after the shooting, right?
I don't know if it was after the shooting.
If I hear the video, I'll know.
It's not a video. It's just a tweet that I saw.
Okay, well.
I'm not gonna lie
But
to
you know, Candace Owens is she's a shock jock.
Yeah, she is a panderer to the fifth power.
Okay.
To the fifth power.
But Candace Owens do be making some good points though from time
Whoa!
to time. From time to time. Look, you gotta go.
Here we go.
Oh gosh.
Candace
Oh,
Owens
shit.
tweeted, "Transgenderism is a mental illness. Keep your children away from transgendered individuals and their parents. People that support and encourage this are monsters and should similarly be kept away from children. These people are quite literally chopping their dicks off, putting a wound where their penises used to be and calling it a vagina. You have to be severely mentally ill to do that. You have to be an absolute monster to encourage someone to do that. The drugs they are giving to trans children are the same drugs they give to pedophiles in prison to chemically castrate them. I meant exactly what I said."
This is what I'm gonna say on this topic, so I don't have to discuss this any further. I'm going to plead to what you said earlier, that I am not a doctor, therefore I cannot tell you. If something's a mental illness or not.
The
You know what I'm
question,
saying?
question is, do you agree? Do you agree?
I mean, what did he say? He said Candace Owens be making some good points.
Huh? He said Candace Owens
I
making some great
did
points.
not know that this is what Candace Owens said.
Oh, you didn't know this?
I did not know. I didn't know this.
I said that shit like
What?
directly after the ALC shit.
I didn't read it. Then.
You didn't read it?
Nigga.
Okay.
I want to say you commented on it.
Did I?
Hold on, wait.
I
Oh,
want to say you commented
should we
on it.
put up the screen? All right, nigga. So the question is do you agree or disagree?
Look, dog, I ain't gonna lie to you. I have a whole profession. I got a whole profession.
Here's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to walk y'all through a journey here real quick, as I give y'all my answer on this. So about 2 or 3 years ago, the TLC dropped a show called Lost in Transition. The premise of the show was it was about men who was transitioning to women, but they were already in fully committed relationships. Some were married, some just been in long-term relationships, some just engaged or whatever. And the actual women in the relationship, let's just say actual women, but the women in the relationship, I know, right? It's fucked up. The women in the relationship prior to the men transitioning were either going to stay with their partner as they transitioned, or was struggling with the idea to stay with their partner as they transitioned, was kind of in limbo.
I want to say I've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah. Or just flat out just wasn't fucking with it at all. You know what I'm saying? Was all like, no, I married a man. I want to be with a man. I can't stay married to a woman, or I can't be with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like men, which is perfectly within reason, right? That makes sense. Okay. What was fascinating was this one scene that I seen where this dude was telling the story, because he was still a man at the time, before he started to transition. He was telling the story about how he broke down and started crying and almost committed suicide at the thought of not being who he was, who he believed himself to be. And my question has always been, hold on, wait, because I'm about to land here. If now we have become very tolerant in people being whoever they was.
No, I'm gonna answer your question.
So let me ask y'all this here real quick. If you swapped a person acting that way about being a woman with him acting that way about being a horse, what would we think of that person?
Look, before I get there,
Rap.
Hear me out. Hear me out here. It's in bounds.
Turn me up.
It's in
You
bounds.
tripping.
It's in bounds.
Hey, you tripping, bro.
It's in bounds.
Yeah, I'm good. You tripping.
What's the difference?
Listen. Don't do that.
Nigga,
Don't do that.
one is
Don't
a
do that. Don't do that.
fucking
One is an
animal.
The other one
One is an
identifiable.
animal, nigga.
Were you born a horse?
My nigga, what is an animal?
Listen to me.
Come on.
It's a valid question.
Listen. This is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna be very honest.
If I gotta be that person,
the group chat is the group chat.
He said DK wasn't enough today. Let me turn up.
The group chat's a group chat, so I'm gonna really try to articulate myself with this issue. I do think that. From what you just told me, if somebody's ever saying that they feel like they'd rather die than be the person that they feel like they are to be, I think there is some type of mental illness to play with that, right? And I'm using that particular instance.
I mean, suicidal attempts is mental illness, period.
And that's what I was gonna say. If for example, if somebody tells me that, dang, if I just lost my job today and tomorrow I'm like, man, I want to die because I don't have, the ability to have the resources that I want to have. There is some type of mental illness being, to play there. If my life ever has to be, taken away because of said reason, there's some type of mental illness at play there.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to sit up here and say I 100% agree with Candace Owens, because that would also be blanketly saying that like I agree with every single word that came out of that tweet. But I am going to say that I do think that some of these issues that you may see, I do think that there's mental illness for some of them.
Yeah.
Right. But does not mean that there's not mental illness for people who identify as men who are men, or people who identify as women who are women. There's, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that we should be to feel some type of way by saying that. But is that?
But hear me out, because allow me to land here real quick so I can stick this point clearly. It has always been fascinating to me because,
and I'm not gonna lie, before you go, yes, I do think that if you are a woman trying to identify as a male, or a male identifies as a woman, you cannot be upset if I want to now identify as an ape, or if somebody wants to identify as a horse, or Martha wants to identify as a shrimp.
To be honest with you, I don't care what you want to be.
You have to realize that, we're talking about science here. You get what I'm saying? Like, we were just talking about numbers a second ago. If we're going to agree with AOC with the 98%, this, that, and the third, is because we can identify numbers and cases, right?
Yeah.
That this is what it is for rape victims or people who are, sexually assault victims and things of that nature. When you come out with a code of DNA and you have either a penis or a vagina. Mm-hmm. And a penis makes you...
That's a Matt Walsh argument, but
you know what I'm saying? A penis is what makes
you... It's not technically true. There's others. There's hermaphrodites and shit. But
and those are the exception. But see, we're not gonna sit up here and start arguing exceptions. Like, let's not do that. That's not why we created this podcast. We have men and we have women. The same way a flower could be a male flower or a female flower. Or an animal can be a male animal or a female animal. And what happens is that the person who is a male...
I really don't think you want to carry this argument all the way.
Fuck what you talking about.
Because there are some male flowers that can, what is it called? Pollinating or whatever themselves.
Here's the thing.
There's animals.
We're arguing the point.
You know what's crazy? Us as humans, we can't pollinate ourselves.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
You're talking about animals and flowers as if they're comparable to humans.
Yeah, okay. That's when someone wants to contradict your argument. That's where they're going to go with.
Okay, I apologize, but yes, we have males and we have females. Now, if you are a male who now wants to be a female, cool, no problem. You know what I'm saying? If you are a female that wants to be a male, cool, no problem. Do it in America because you have the ability to do so without any harm coming your way, hopefully. But I will say that if you start feeling like your life needs to be gone because you can't do said thing, then there's some mental illness to play there.
Well,
here's my thing, right? Because again,
that's not a cancelable situation. If it is,
I'm not saying it's, the reason why I'm kind of it's because
you go ahead and speak your piece here. Real quick.
We have a saying, right, that people have been saying for a long time: get rich or die trying. Do I have a mental illness if I believe in that?
Do you actually kill yourself? Yes. If you actually want to kill yourself, you don't get rich.
Trying?
But are you being dead ass? No, you're not playing, right?
No. But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. It's just
you die trying.
It's an expression. I'd rather listen.
He was actually trying to kill himself, though.
Okay,
he actually tried to kill himself.
I understand that particular incident, bro. But there's a lot of situations.
How we got there, dog.
There's a lot of situations. When you want to land a point, you say something loaded like that, bro. You say something loaded like that.
Okay, if it's loaded, then I guess you're just playing your part. But there are people out there who do feel like they'd rather have, go through suicide than, continue in the body that they're currently in.
Okay, but listen, that's neither here nor there. This is my point, bro. If somebody's out there and they believe that they should have been a woman or whatever, and they go through all that rigmarole and identify as a woman and all that.
Yeah.
That's their business.
Though. Yeah. That's the problem. I don't see the issue.
Now, I don't think it's comparable to like, oh, I want to identify as a horse.
Why not?
Because
no one's ever been able to give me an argument, but I'm glad,
feel like
I'm welcoming you to try.
There's people out there who identify as German Shepherds, and they want you to like literally treat them as German Shepherds.
There's people who identify as babies.
They came out and feel like they're German Shepherds.
And when we get into that kind of realm, then I feel like it's laughable. I feel like it discounts what maybe like this, like what other people may really really have going on.
No, we should not do that.
Gender identity.
Well, hear me out here for a second, right? Because let me land my entire argument here, so that way y'all can fully appreciate why I feel this way. It has always, to a certain extent, been fascinating to me, because understand that what we view as a woman is an emulation of the way society has transitioned a woman to be. Like when men dress up in drag, they are emulating from the outside what they think a woman is. There is an entire, if there's a multiverse, there's a universe out here where women wear boots and pants and shirts and men might wear dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way we did things. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a woman in before you developed the term transgender was someone born with a vagina. You get what I'm saying? Like, it isn't that, again, right? Like, if that's all they wanted and they just, and I'm saying, right, but had no, how can I put it, no desire to want to wear heels and dresses and actually emulate a woman, well, then I would say, okay, well, now I fully appreciate this argument. But from my perspective, and again, I don't want to offend anybody, but you're emulating what we perceive as a woman expressing herself as a woman.
It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same way when you see somebody.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What happens when individual goes all the way?
Huh?
An individual goes all the way, surgery and all that.
Yeah.
Do you then have you have a different perspective for that person?
But I'm saying the person doesn't go all the way first and then starts emulating a woman. They're already emulating a woman, transitioning to a woman prior to that. So I'm saying, like, the concept of someone transitioning is purely the emulation of what we as society deem a woman to be: a high heel dress, skirt, pantyhose,
because there are women out there who are legitimately tomboys or do whatever the case may be, and they're still identify as women. You get what I'm saying?
Still, I
think, but listen, but hold on. Your argument has holes in it, right? Because I'm sure there are individuals that are transitioning that are still wearing masculine clothes, even though they're transitioning to be a female.
I haven't really seen.
How many have you seen?
I mean, I'm just talking about in this whole spectrum of like videos and arguments being made. I haven't really.
Listen, that's the thing. It's a whole spectrum.
I mean,
I guarantee you that there is a man transitioning to a woman that still likes women who still dresses like a man.
Okay, but
that shit just. I'm not gonna lie to you. It really like, dog.
It's like, fuck, I'm stuck.
I froze, dog.
Okay, there's so many. Listen, this is the thing. Like, there's so many different crayons in the box, bro.
Here's my question to you though. How many times have you? Because I'm saying it's not a lot, but
you know what?
My question would be to you. Hold on. Let me just ask him this real quick. How many times have you seen a man transitioning to a woman? And they weren't emulating a woman from the makeup to the hair.
So most
saying,
times
like, we're doing this 0.1% of 0.1% thing again.
No. What I'm saying
yes,
is
we are. Like, you bringing up a small percentage of people who would transition and still dress like a man.
But see, the transgender issue is a small percentage to begin with. What I'm saying is you can't have a linear argument with this situation because that's not what what's really going on.
But I'm merely saying here is just that because if we want to put it into a better context or a better argument, from what I've seen, which I thought that's what I said, men who are born men transitioning into women are emulating what they believe a woman to be because that's who they believe they are.
Essentially, what you're saying is instead of like these men that are transitioning shouldn't say that they identify as women. What they should be saying is I identify as feminine, right? That's what you're essentially saying. Like they're using the wrong term.
No, it's crazy. That is actually I think exactly what it is in my mind. Even though I know they're identifying as
it feels like,
but that is what it is. It's not even. It's not even what it feels like, bro. Because look at sports; they're starting to like say, "Hey, I don't care if you identify as a woman or a male. You cannot be in these particular sports anymore. You can't do it anymore. You are a male. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen now,
you can't come into these women's sports and start doing things and start breaking records and this, that, and the third and making it seem like
natural born women's sports.
Because you."
I'm a subscriber, 100% subscriber to the notion that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna live my life and you're gonna live yours. Yeah. Right? As long as you don't fuck with what me and mine got going on, I don't have no sayings or opinions, neither there or there for what you got going. And that's me, like literally that's me. I do not give a fuck. Yeah. What you got going on.
I don't think anybody, any one of us care. This is just us like.
I know it was me growing up as a child, right? It's like going to Klein High School. You know what I'm saying? I was a theater major. Dog, I saw crazy shit. Yeah. I saw crazy shit all the fucking time. It didn't affect me. Yeah. It didn't affect me like as the person that I am or whatever. Maybe it made me a little bit more tolerant. Maybe it made me a little bit more progressive or liberal because I understand that, hey, everybody is a person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody has... You know what I'm saying? Their own shit and whatever they believe in, what they got going on. But at the end of the day, like, are you a good person? Yes or no? You know what I'm saying? Do you wish me harm? Yes or no? Like, those are the things that really matter as far as individuals. And that's what I picked up. I don't really, give a fuck. But when it comes to, like, when I start to kind of draw the line, dog, I started seeing, like, with these, like, scholastic events and, like, sports and shit, you start having... Of course, man. You start having a cisgender man, right, who's identifying as... a woman want to participate in wrestling, in swimming,
against natural born women,
in track, in a sport with cisgender women. I mean, listen, I don't care when you started taking your estrogen. I don't care when you started blocking your testosterone or whatever, whatever regimens that you guys go through. I don't care when you started. Yeah. You were born a man. You were born a man. Like I don't want to give you a percentage or whatever, but from the 35 years that I've been alive, most men that I see will dominate a woman when it comes to a physical activity. Typically, yes. You know what I'm saying? Now, definitely, you got women that will outdo men in certain activities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. But and when you're talking about two healthy individuals that are in competition in competition fitness, yeah, a man is not going to be able to. I mean, a woman is not going to be able to compete with a man.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is because obviously, and the point here is like 95% of people agree with that sentiment. You know what I'm saying? Only the really far left believe that it's okay to allow that shit to happen. But 95% of people agree that like, yo,
the other day I was at Lifetime. The other day I was at Lifetime, and I'm on the track. I'm on the treadmill, and I'm watching the news, and it's a big fucking deal. It's on the news.
That's because the news, they...
I mean, you can't... I mean, the news gonna pop
They're
up
talking
anything.
about Congress trying to like block this and block that, and they're focusing on the Republican. And to me, I feel like I feel like you take away from so many of the individuals that are, that aren't trying to like somehow cheat the fucking system. Yeah. Dog, we're watching the track meet. We're watching the track meet. And all of these girls have been competing their whole lives. They're 16 years old. And you come in.
Made it to nationals.
And you just fucking blow right past them. Mm-hmm. You don't think there's something wrong? It's like that. But you think it's unfair if they don't let you compete.
So hear me out here for a second. This is why I've been trying to explain to you here is is from my perspective, you get what I'm saying? Is it like whenever you take someone who is gay, right? A person who likes the same sex is because like that's what they're drawn to. You get what I'm saying? Like I more than likely experienced the opposite sex, right? Because that's how we're raised to be, right? Yeah. I didn't get the same feeling that I get when I experienced that with the same sex. You get what I'm saying? So like it's part of who they are. And even transgender people, I can understand.
I don't think that comes from growing up though. Huh? I don't think that comes from you from growing up. I think that's just naturally
as they're growing. But I'm saying as they're growing up, a person, if you're born a boy, you know what I'm saying? At some point in time, right? Like you're going to experience a somewhat relationship with a woman or the opposite sex, and if you are attracted to the same sex, then you have to experience that. Like, yo, this ain't what I want.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you go to the same sex. So I'm saying not my issue, but the conversation or what I've always found fascinating around this transgender conversation is it doesn't seem so much to me that like they want to have the female counterpart things. They're emulating what they believe a woman is to be, and that is just a social construct that we created, that women created.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I genuinely feel like that's exactly what it is. They're identifying as feminine.
It's like, what are we still walking around here with just,
you know what I'm saying?
Shit, just fucking cowhide. Like, I'm saying, like, I don't understand what
even the women who transition into men, like they want to get the beards and they want to get the facial hair.
Yeah,
you gotta realize, nigga, I don't have a beard. Both of y'all grow beards. Does that make me? I don't like. But no. But
they're taking testosterone and shit, though. So like, it's coming. Like it's.
I'm saying because they want to emulate.
They want the what we identify to be masculine. Like, let me put on the boots. Let me put on the rugged T-shirt and the jeans and. You know,
I'm saying we're getting into heavy canceling territory here, and we might already be there. But
I don't think we are.
But hold on, my point.
You're never gonna know.
I'm canceled.
But my point.
Log in and that shit say
nah, bro, we ain't fucking with. But my point being here is just that it's always been this. It's always when I think about it as to how I can relate to that person, right? Because I can relate to a gay person to understand that, like, yo, if I couldn't be who I was because of a sensation, right? At the end of the day, right, it's how you sense things when you're with someone, right? Like that shit would kill me. I fully understand them not being able to be who they are because it sucks to be attracted to something, right? And then be told, oh, well, you shouldn't be that because this is how a man should be. You know what I'm saying? Look, motherfucker, I like what I like. Like, get the fuck over it. You know what I'm saying? But as we discuss this transgender thing, and I'm all for people being whoever the fuck they want to be. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I brought up the horse thing, you can identify as a horse as long as you ain't stealing, killing, or robbing from me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
The horse thing's a little much though, but
I did that for shock value because again, I'm gonna ask this question again because no one has ever been able to really give me a valid argument here. If you took a person in the exact same situation and then you swap them with wanting to be a woman with wanting to be a horse, you would put them in a mental institution. And I'm saying, I'm not here to say they have a mental illness, but I'm saying if you just swap one thing, one particular aspect of this situation, we put this person in a mental institution.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do that with so much other shit. Though.
So I'm saying is if you take the very most minute detail of it, you know what I'm saying, and only swapped what you're believing yourself to be, and you put this person in a mental institution, and you don't put this person in a mental institution.
But rap, that's not like...
Okay.
Listen, bro. Okay, so I have it's a bottle of water, bro. I want to drink a bottle of water.
Yeah.
If I switch this out with some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, like you switch it out with bleach.
Like, I want to drink a bottle of bleach. I now become a crazy person.
Yes.
I'm saying you can't compare. I'm not crazy when I say I want to drink a bottle of water.
I'm saying, but if you switch that bottle of water with another bottle of water, that makes sense, right? But if you switch it to bleach, that's something entirely different.
No, you're not understanding.
But I'm saying,
somebody saying that I identify as a woman, right? I'm saying that you can't necessarily deem them crazy if they say.
No, I'm not saying they're crazy.
Okay, I'm just following the argument. Though.
I'm just saying that you would think that it is a crazy idea.
To me,
Yes.
yeah, I might think it's a crazy idea.
So
as in, I could never do it. But to somebody else, it's something they really like believe in. What I'm saying is, you're saying, oh, you can identify as a horse if you can identify as a woman. What I'm saying is that's not true. Right? The same way, like
I get. I'm saying I get that. Like I'm way over here with it.
You way over there. Nigga.
I'm saying
like to the point that it doesn't even make sense. To the point where it's almost like offensive.
Okay, but hold on. But the point being here is right. It's just that we have decided what we are willing to tolerate. You get what I'm saying? This is just something that we're not willing to tolerate.
Do you want to know why I feel like it's kind of not that?
Okay.
Like why I feel like it's not that offensive. And I'm gonna use a dog for example because we don't know that many horses. If I identify as a dog, I go put a leash on myself and start going out. And
people do that.
Yeah, they do. And they're going out to dog parks and doing this, that, and the third. We're only doing that because our perspective is what we know what that dog should be doing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know what a dog really like does in the back of without our authority over them. I really thoroughly get your argument. And I know that kind of sounds fucked up just saying that out loud, but that is the truth. When I see some of these people like, go and get there was a man that I saw who went and spent a whole bunch of bread, got a full dog suit, and legitimately spends his days.
That's wild.
Spends his days as a German Shepherd, bro. I think it's like in Asia or something like that. And what I'm saying is that
is completely fucking
it's not different. What I'm saying is that his perception.
Listen, it's people. It is people who are emulating what they believe themselves to be.
I understand why you guys have this argument. I do. I really do. I understand it. The thing is,
and you know what? If you are a part of this community, feel free to comment, communicate. Like we would love to have.
But the whole point is just
us, you know
here's my point. Just to drive it home, right? Because I know I've gotten way off here. Whole point is, and this is gonna seem shocking, right?
Oh,
I don't think for a person to believe that it's a mental illness is far off base.
That's crazy.
That's all I'm saying.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
I'm not going to call you mentally ill.
I see
but I will.
I can see where the argument can be had.
I'm not going to call it mentally ill, but I do think there was at some point.
Look, I don't think they should be condemned or nothing.
I say this.
My dude.
I do think that there was some identifying
If
marker.
somebody's mentally ill, what do?
You hopefully get them some help.
Okay, so what kind of help are you going to get somebody?
But there's a lot of
what kind of help are you going to get this person?
But see, what I was just about to say is that I think that a lot of people who identify as another gender, there's probably something that occurred to them in some part of the timeline that like turned the events. And whether that trauma was dealt with or not dealt with or whatever the case may be, we do not know. Now, are there people who just at the age
I can't believe everything. And also,
and I'm talking about for some. I'm not saying for all of them.
because I've been bringing up trauma. I don't know if I always agree that like that's like the catalyst to this shit. Like I just
listen. I didn't see, and that was his driving point. For
I don't know if that's always the
listen,
catalyst.
for me, no, it's not trauma. Listen, people are who they are.
Yeah. I'm in agreement.
I'm a big proponent of that, dog. Like, people are who the fuck they are.
Should we delete like?
Nah, ain't no delete, nigga. Ain't no delete, nigga.
Nah, bro. This shit going up. This shit going up.
Listen, bro. Listen.
Up.
Aside from like locking the fucking child in a fucking dark closet for like 15 years straight, my nigga, normal or a slightly normal, whatever, childhood, dog, these kids are gonna be who the fuck they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're gonna like go to a private school, go to a public school. Like, if this dude was gonna grow up to be a douchebag, he's either gonna grow up to be a douchebag with a private school education, or he's gonna grow up to be a douchebag with a public school education. Either way, it doesn't. I don't really feel like it affects too much shit. So if a person, now granted, it's a lot more open today or like visible for you to see like, okay, this person did it or whatever, so, I can do it. I don't think people are just gonna latch on to shit just for the sake of like latching on to it. Like, especially when it comes to something like that fucking drastic, bro. But, like, yes, you might have your outliers. You probably had your outliers, and I agree with you.
Okay, but
most of them, though.
But hold on here, because like you're still not allowing me to finish my argument, so I can just.
You said you are your argument.
Hold on, so I can fully land it here. The ending thing here is if people are transitioning, right, and the argument for transgender people is that gender is a social construct, right? You know what I'm saying? That like science be all, you know what I'm saying? Like, sure, you got an X and Y chromosome, and then, you know, you got 2 X chromosomes for women. That's science part of it, right? But gender is a social construct as well, right? Like, it's something that we decided that, like, feminism and
I understand your point.
and masculine here, right? So they're emulating it, right?
Yes.
So my point here is just that if a man wanted to transition to a woman and, you know what I'm saying, believe that he is a woman, you know what I'm saying, and she now presents herself as a woman, I'm just saying, to me, you know what I'm saying, just hear me out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We hearing you.
Okay. She said, Candace Owens said that, yo, cutting your penis off and cutting the slit where you believe a vagina should be, I'm just saying that's wild.
What's wild? I'm saying I don't understand.
I'm saying, like, it's
Are you saying you agree?
huh? I'm saying, I'm
You
agreeing.
saying you agree?
Look.
Did you hear me, nigga? Like, I ain't back, I'm not backing up here, nigga.
Are you saying
Like,
you agree?
I'm saying here.
Look.
You just said that's wild. I'm asking, do you agree with Candace Owens?
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
I wouldn't go as far as to say, you know what I'm saying, as she put it, but I'm just saying that in any other circumstance where we create a scenario where a person does a massive surgery to themselves to turn them into something else, we think that person is crazy.
This is gonna be the end of it.
If they were just emulating a woman and thought they were a woman, right? Like, okay, cool, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not against it, but I'm saying for you to take it as far as a surgery to actually create the body of a woman, you know what I'm saying? I guess someone needs the whole package, right? Because I get it. Look, if you're going to go for it, you know what I'm saying? Go full throttle. Live the experience, you know what I'm
There are
saying?
people who identify as like amputees, right? And they will go as far as to cut off cut off a limb or something like that. Can I ask y'all a real quick question? Do y'all think that's a little bit of mental health?
Oh, of course. Easily.
Listen, I just want to know. VJ, listen. I know you agree that people should live their life, but just real quick.
Easily.
Let me reiterate.
Real quick.
I'm gonna be real quick.
If I identify
I'm
as
gonna
an
be real
amputee
quick, bro.
and I cut my arm off to be an amputee.
If that's what you want to do, bro, that is your business.
All right,
bro.
guys, it was nice.
Listen, I've never digressed. Like, I've always had the same.
No, we get that. I just feel like you're not. Like,
I'm not what? I'm not giving you what you want.
you're not giving a response.
Time out.
Like,
Here's my thing, right?
In this gray area,
just so I can fully get this shit on camera
This
too.
is where I live, nigga.
If you
I
believe-
live in this gray area, nigga.
If you believe you a box, my nigga, then be a box. I don't.
Be a box.
I truly don't give a
be a
shit.
U-Haul box, be whatever box you.
But
wanna
I'm just
be.
saying, I don't think it's far fetched. I just don't think it's far fetched to have a conversation about.
Fucking nut, nigga.
No.
I just don't think it's a far fetched conversation to question whether or not there's some mental instability here. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen. If niggas want to be a box, that's on them. But I don't listen. Being boxes, being horses, amputees, all that shit. I feel like we really getting off track here, my nigga.
And no, we're not getting off track because here's what.
All right.
Because we're gonna get through it here. But here's what's always got me. It's just that, like, I present these arguments where all I do is switch a detail, and all of a sudden
but you can't. It doesn't work,
bro. You're
work.
killing me. It's the same principle.
It doesn't
dog.
work.
Look, it's
It
cool.
doesn't work.
We have identified everybody's like take on the situation.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
For all of y'all, them and they out there, feel free to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, whenever
like, comment and subscribe.
Whenever y'all go through the short clips, because I'm sure we're gonna cut some like egregious short clips out for this episode, bro. Please just go back and watch the whole episode so y'all can hear my take.
What?
Just hear my views on this.
I don't think.
Before you decide to put the big C on us, nigga, on the cancel, nigga.
I don't think I said anything bad.
Just go take a look at.
And if I did, I'm open to like have a discussion.
But you're not though.
I am.
But you're not though.
I absolutely am.
I am.
You're open to argue, not to discuss.
Me, I'm open to discuss.
I didn't even argue
And
here.
to be real with y'all,
You argued.
To be real with you guys, I honestly do not give a fuck because Y'all's issue does not pay my bills or anything of
That
that
boy
nature.
said y'all's issues. He just re-canceled us.
Listen, he's gonna have to apologize to Lizzo and the transgender community.
Do I?
Every episode. Y'all's issues. It's y'all people. It's y'all people.
He dead ass said y'all issues.
Hey, all right, let's go, dog. Let's get up out here. Let's wrap this shit up.
Yo, as always, it's been real. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications and share these clips that we about to drop.